Everybody, we are back. It is Saved on Launch Favorite Podcast, Favorite Channel, Favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, discount code TDL for all your protein supplements. All right, Matt. So we are here today. We're gonna be talking a little bit depth chart, going to the depth chart, and take a few questions. We're gonna be about 30 minutes today, guys. We're gonna go we're not gonna go too long. We're not gonna do the usual hour and a half. We're gonna go over the depth chart and do some training camp talk a little bit, which is still basically the same, but it's fine. We're okay. We're close to the game. We're close to the game. You know what I mean? So, but we are here and we are going over this for you. So how you feeling today, Matt?
I'm good, man. I mean, like you said, it seemed like I don't know if we want to say this for later, but it seems like you said, a little bit more of the same with the with training camp news. You know, one step forward for the quarterbacks, two steps back kind of deal. So I don't know. We'll have to get into that a little bit later. But yeah, got the depth chart out. Got a little bit of an idea of where teams stand. So.
Yeah, like training camp's been basically the same. I mean, it seems like we're going back and forth. Like it's Minshew and then it's O'Connell, and then they're both not good a day, and then we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's just interesting how this is working out, man. It's just not. It's like, is it the defense or is the offense bad? And I don't know if it's just a little bit of both.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's like, and I saw someone brought it up, so maybe it's a good starting point. Like, we talked about this a little bit too, like in week one or the first week of training camp or whatever we first talked about it. Like, we would expect the defense to be ahead. It's just frustrating that it seemed like they were starting to make strides in the right direction and starting to move forward. And then the day happened, and it seemed like everything went back to what it was. Like, it looked like Gardner Minshew was maybe taking control of the quarterback situation. And then it seemed like he threw like a bunch of picks today. And from what I could see, it seemed like Aiden O'Connell probably had a little bit of a better day. So now it's kind of back to square one where we again don't really know who's pulling away from this, and going back to Pierce's statement at the beginning of training camp where he wants one of these guys to take the competition or take the bull by the horns and kind of take command of the competition. Again, we thought that was going to be Gardner Minshew with the last couple of days, or I think how last week ended. I think it was on Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then again, the last couple of days, it just seems like it's gone back. So I think that's the frustrating part where it's like, yeah, they're playing a good defense. They're going to be playing good defenses throughout the season. Week 2, the Ravens they're going to the Ravens. I'm not sure if that's a home or away game. Like that defense ain't getting any easier. Is kind of what I'm saying. And again, you would have just liked to see someone continue to build and stack good days on top of each other instead of revert and regress back to what it was. But
exactly, I feel you on that. You want them to just I don't know, just have a good day, but I don't know. It's weird because just because how Antonio Pierce is running the camp too. Like, I don't know if the offense is allowed to have a good day. So it's that too. You know what I mean? Like, are they allowed to? Like, I feel like they were having a good day one day and they yelled at the defense, and then they just like, man, it went off. It went off there. Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of what you want from your head coach, right? You want them to push the guys that aren't playing well. You want the competition level to rise, but at the same time, like, you also want to figure out who the hell your starting quarterback is. And again, you're not really. I don't feel like they're any closer to figuring that out. Not that they have to be, but it's just a little deflating, I guess, to put it one way, to see them kind of revert back and not play well in the last two.
Yeah, man, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just you hope that they just take that step, bro, or do something.
Yeah. At some point, someone's got to win the job.
The thing is, though, is that they can't run the ball right now, right? There's no really like big running the ball, which is why sometimes I'm like, okay, I gotta take a step back. Like, yeah, maybe the drop back passing game is not going to be great right now, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not going to really, because that's really what camp is. You mean, when we talk about camp, nobody's saying that Zamir White's having a great camp. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's saying things like that. Or, even Vic Tafer wrote an article about a wide receiver today. You know what I mean? There's no articles about like how this guy is like doing this, or, this running back is taking the steps. I mean, and Dylan Lobby, he's getting love because he's catching the football. So you know what I mean? He's a third down back. So it's that's the thing when you think about this offense that maybe you got to take a step back. Is like if they're able to run the ball, I mean, we're gonna feel a different way about this offense, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to move the ball a little bit,
Very true.
change, be efficient. And so since there's no run game right now, that's why you have to kind of like, okay, let's take a step back a little bit. It's going to be different if they're able to run the ball, they're able to play action, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe these quarterbacks can't do drop back, and we can't expect them to drop back like 40 times a game and get it done that way. But we shouldn't expect it anyways.
Yeah.
So that's just, maybe that's how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, two things came up in my mind when you're talking about that. One, I mean, Pierce has made it no secret that that's how he wants to run the offense is through the running game and whatnot. So I think to what you're saying, like maybe they are making be a little bit more drop back to see who can do it, or if either one of them can do it, and holding back on the running game a little bit. And then two, I think where that really comes into play is they are missing two potential starting offensive linemen. We know Colton Miller's a starter, but JPJ, bit of a question mark. I mean, looking at the depth chart right now, they got Cody Whitehead listed as a starter, but obviously that's more because JPJ is the rookie that has barely practiced and hasn't practiced at all during training camp. So I think that's the one thing that can give you a little bit more hope about the running game is like that they're missing 40% of the offensive line, and especially a guy like JPJ who you're kind of hoping can step up and be that guy in the running game, and Colton Miller contributes there too. Yeah, I think that's part of it. And hurts the quarterbacks because it does seem like Kuntz and Crosby were feasting on Tuesday, at least a little bit, and they were getting after the quarterback. So yeah, hope when those two guys come back, you know, it just makes the world of difference, opens up the running game, and then from there opens up the passing game as well and keeps the defense a little more honest.
Yeah. So is the defense hype legit? It is though. It is though. They're fast as hell, man. They're fast. That's the thing. I mean, is they're super fast, man. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. My bad, man.
I was just saying, Jack Jones, got to give him a little bit of credit. Can't be too negative. Jack Jones getting 2 picks, 1 off each quarterback. So have another good day and having some ball, showing off those ball skills. So sounds like he's been balling out so far in camp. So
yeah, and I guess. Yeah, and Zamir, that's what I'm saying. We don't know how Zamir White's looking right now. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're not gonna find out how Zamir White's looking probably till Saturday if he plays that much. You know what I mean? And then people are asking about the O-line. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every day from here on out, when JPJ misses the practice, like you gotta panic a little bit more because again, if it was a vet, like I'm not as worried about Colton Miller not playing. Like he's done it before. We've seen him play at a Pro Bowl level, even though he doesn't get that recognition. But we've seen him play at a high level. JPJ is the rookie that needs to be out there and getting reps. That's concerning to me. Like that's getting to are they really going to start Cody Whitehair type of deal at this stage? That's where I'm now. I don't know if I'm hitting the panic button, but my finger's hovering over it. Maybe I'm touching it and about to put a little pressure on there. But yeah, that's the concerning part to me is the fact that a rookie that you're hoping starts, that I think everyone had penciled in as a starter heading into camp, hasn't hit the field yet.
All right, so let's get into this depth chart, man. Let's pull it up. Shout out your boy Q if it pops up here because I couldn't find a way to download. I can't really see it, but it's fine. We're gonna make it happen here. So, I mean, it's not that crazy. It's not that surprising, in my opinion. There is a couple surprises. I thought it was interesting that it's 12 personnel in here. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Matt. You let me know, but I've never seen.
I feel like maybe like one of the Harbaugh offenses. I don't know. Did the Ravens last year have Likely and Andrews listed as starting tight ends?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. But yeah, it's like very rare. I'll say that. Like it's not often that you see 12 personnel as the starting unit, but to no surprise, that does tell you what we all assumed with these offenses. It's going to be a lot of 2 tight end sets, and that's them basically telling us in the entire league, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, I thought that was super interesting. I mean, you got to think about it, right? They don't have a fullback at all on this team.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I had that question of like, who's the fullback? it looks like it might be Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is like that move guy, right? Because even talk about the Ravens, they got Ricard. They got Patrick Ricard over there,
Yeah.
who's their kind of their fullback guy that they move around a little bit. So that was the most interesting part for me, man. Was this? I was like, okay, so we're running 12 personnel. That's for sure. That is not a going to be in something that's just gonna mess around with. That's gonna be their base personnel. Which I mean, if we get to that point, right? I mean, if they lead the league in 12 personnel, I mean that's gonna be interesting how teams start to play them, right? Do they just bring a nickel anyways, right? For Brock Bowers, do they like how do teams play them? That's gonna be super interesting with that. But man, I was like, I've never seen that before. I don't know if anybody else seen. If anybody else seen that, you let me know. I mean, I don't know how many depth charts Raiders fans look at for the teams, but I just haven't seen 12 personnel as the base in defense. Because I mean, even on offense, I mean, but even on defense, you see nickel, right?
Yeah, you'll see nickel a lot. Yeah, especially in the last like 5 years. But
Yeah, no, I mean, go ahead, man. Come on, man.
I was just gonna say no. I haven't seen it much, if at all. But
it's crazy. But hey, I mean, that's what they drafted Brock Bowers for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they'd be doing this if they didn't have Brock Bowers, in my opinion. But this is what happened with the draft, and him falling to them. That's what ended up happening. Anything else stand out to you on offense?
I think we were talking about a little bit ahead of the show. I mean, Keelan Doss just signed like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe, beginning camp after Gallup retired. Already considered a second stringer. It does seem like Christian Wilkerson. That's a name that I keep popping up and I've seen popping up, making a few plays in the passing game and stood out last year in the preseason. He's obviously listed second. Those are the big ones. One we talked about too, JPJ being behind Whitehair. I mean, I gotta imagine that's more a result of JPJ not being available, not being able to play. But other than that, Munford still being the starting right tackle despite a little bit of hype from DJ Glaze over the last few practices and whatnot. But again, nothing that's too shocking, I guess, at this stage in the game. The only one that really stood out, besides the 12 personnel, was Doss just being in a legit contender for that fourth wide receiver spot.
Yeah, because the Cody Whitehair one's interesting too, because Colt Miller's on there, right? Colt Miller is hurt too, and he's the starter.
Yeah,
and then you got Whitehair in front of Jackson Powers Johnson, which you're right. It could be because of injury, but I hope that is the reason. I really hope that is the reason. The reason why that scares me is because Colt Miller's still there. If it's an Andres Pete, and then Colt Miller behind him, I'd feel a lot better about it. But
I mean, Miller is what, an 8-year vet at this stage. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's the guy where like I was talking about a little bit. Like, I'm not worried that Colton Miller's not necessarily practicing. He's at the stage where like I don't think he necessarily needs to be pushed too hard in camp, but might be a little bit of sending a message to JPJ of like, hey, you got to earn your spot. Whereas again, Colton Miller being a great left tackle for a handful of years now, like he's got the starting spot. And I think Andres Pete is well aware of that when Colton Miller comes back. So I think that's where but I see where you're coming from, but yeah, like I think it's more just a matter of where those two guys are at in their careers.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody asked about Andre James's ass. I mean, we aren't the biggest fans of Andre James here, but he's a solid center. But I do think behind him, I mean, you got to think about the depth. I mean, if Jackson Powers Johnson's out, I mean, do they move Parham to center? I'm not familiar with Ben Brown. I think he's a rookie, right? We'll put him. I think he's a rookie.
Yeah, he's an undrafted guy.
Yeah. Who's Ben Brown? Are you familiar with him?
He's like, I think he was like I don't know if he was either added to the roster late last year or was like a future reserve contract. I can't talk contract guy. So yeah, he's not very notable. As a matter of fact, when I remember I had a tweet when I was talking about Raider situation and completely forgot about him. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine it would probably be, like you said, either Parham steps in there, JPJ, again, assuming JPJ gets healthy. Cody Whitehair's played center before too. And Meredith can play center too. So it's maybe more of a technicality or a formality that Ben Brown's the second center at this stage. But yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else? I like the college football or with Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. It really feels like it's like it's a college football quarterback battle. Like they're going to go out there and play halves
Yeah,
on.
I do like it. I'm looking at the one on the team's site, and like, gotta be a little humbling for Anthony Brown, where they have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew first, and the second spot's just blank. Like, like, damn, man, I can't even get it up there by just default. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
that is the nice touch. A nice touch of, we still don't know. If anything says that no one's really pulled ahead of the other, and they still are figuring this out, it's the two letters between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and the two dashes.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be an interesting battle because, every time I hear, what's his name, Antonio Pierce talk about it, it's like he sticks up for O'Connell a lot. Like, like he brings up the drops. I think that's weird. I don't know. I just feel like that's not normal, bringing up drops all the time. Like, he's got a lot of drops though. Like, it feels like a fan. That's something a fan would say. Is he's had a lot of drops. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, evaluate the quarterbacks. And then I heard this ESPN guy talk about intangibles, how intangibles are being put in that. So, that's the thing. Like, we don't know who's really winning this battle. I think, where they play, but Minshew is getting more first team snaps at this point. I think he's going to start the first preseason game. I believe that's how it's going to go. He'll start the first preseason game, and then you said they're going to get equal playing time, but it's going to be interesting with that is what happens with that competition, because I mean that's really the main thing we're watching in preseason anyways. We're trying to see who the hell is going to be this damn starting quarterback. We don't know who it's going to be, but yeah, they're asking for one of them to step up, and we're gonna have to wait to the games, I would think, and when they're playing against somebody else, so they can really get an idea of what they actually want to do. So
yeah, and I mean, feel like they'll definitely play it coy in the media, but I think you're right in that it will be telling of who does take the first snaps on Saturday. Like that to me will be like, yeah, this is the guy that has the lead. Might be a slim lead, but that's the guy that I would feel like, if you're looking at this, you're trying to evaluate these guys and evaluate them against a good defense, but maybe that's not quite as good as the one that you've been seeing every week. Like, you want the guy that's the leader in the clubhouse right now, or the leader on the leaderboard, to take in those first team reps. Like, at that point, there is no more or. You got to kind of pick a little bit. You can't send both of them out there. But although that would be one interesting formation. Go 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, because to me, when you do these quarterback battles like this, and like one guy plays the first quarter and the other guy plays the second quarter, like Aiden O'Connell's not playing like high level competition in the second quarter, right?
Yeah.
If he comes in there, he plays the second quarter. So if he balls and he outplays Gardner Minshew, like that's my thing with preseason. Like, he outplays Gardner Minshew, right? He comes out there, he goes with the twos, he throws like 2 touchdowns, and Gardner Minshew maybe doesn't have that good of a drive in the first quarter, right? Or that type of, he's playing better players, right? So if Aiden O'Connell comes out there and balls in the second quarter, like, how much do you put into that? That's my thing with preseason games. But the guys can see who plays better, who does better. But that was super interesting to me. And then sorry, what were you gonna say, Matt? Go ahead.
I was just saying on that, like, maybe you want to be the guy that goes in the second quarter. You at least like get some better tape out there. If you're Aiden O'Connell, you want to go out there and play against the second team in preseason again and get the hype train going back up.
Yeah. And then Dylan Lobby is way down here, which I thought was interesting, and Britton Brown's ahead of him. I don't know how much you read into that though. I
just think it's interesting because we've heard a lot of hype about Dylan Lobby. I saw Vic tweet this. He's kind of like, look, I'm not trying to put a damper. The guy's played well, but it is one of those things where Amir Abdullah's in year 8 in the NFL. They know what they have in him. They just want to see what Lobby's got, but it does sound like he's made the most of the opportunities. So I don't think Abdullah's playing in the preseason anyway. So
I don't know how much he's gonna play in the preseason. But yeah, man, it's good. It's all about the quarterback right now. So I mean, that's what we're gonna be finding out about. And you put Aiden O'Connell back in there with Cole Farthingham. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I don't know what's gonna happen. So put it back with this boy, you know. Hey, Wilkerson, you say you gonna let him out there with Wilkerson and his boys out there, man? The Baldwin last year? I don't know. I don't know how smart that is, you know, for Minshew. So you know, he already has a little rapport with those guys. We'll see how this goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's get these some of these questions and we'll get to defense real quick. Does Bowers still if he can throw the ball? I can see Taysom Hill. That'd be funny. But anyways, do they let Baca walk after this year? Pay Tyree can step up. I mean, if Tyree steps up, but I don't know how many snaps he's going to get. He's going to have to make the most out of his snaps, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, man.
I mean, I've talked about it before. I'd pay Malcolm before he can hit free agency.
Yeah.
Before he goes out there and balls out, because if he does, price just went up.
All right, so this is a good question because it's an offensive question. Greetings from Australia, which I don't know what time it is out there, man. But all right. O-line question: if Glaze is performing well, both Munford and Miller are hurt. Do they keep Glaze at right tackle and go with Munford at left tackle if Miller can't play?
Wait, what was the question? Put the question back.
If basically,
Glaze is performing well.
Yeah, I think he messed up a little bit, but I think if basically is it would Glaze play right tackle and Munford play left tackle if Miller can't play?
I mean, I think that weren't they putting like Andres Pete? Like I think they were switching Andres Pete and Munford out when like Glaze was taking the snaps at right tackle. So I mean that's a possibility. I would think they'd probably stick with Pete at left tackle because that's where most of his experience is. But yeah, I mean, if I guess the bigger question is if Colton Miller's still hurt, because if Munford's hurt, then obviously he's not playing. So if Miller's out, what do they do? And they trust Glaze enough to play right tackle. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's a good question. I feel like Pete, you'd probably go with Pete because he's a little more veteran, has more experience on the left side, and he's like solid at it. He's not like I think when we broke him down, like when I broke him down, like he's not anything a game changer at this stage in the game, but he can at least get you by as a solid backup and fill in for a few starts. Yeah. What do you got over there?
I was looking at some of these questions. These do say it's the afternoon in Brisbane, Australia. So
nice.
Somebody said that Doss is the number 5 and Keaton's 2 because I guess Romeo Keaton is having a good camp, but I think that's more that Antonio Pierce said that he wants to give more second team reps. I don't know. These depth charts, man, is it is just an official depth chart. Like, I mean, we have to break this down because this is just fan content, but I mean, it really doesn't mean that much.
Yeah, I do wonder how much actual thought goes into this because, like, at the end of the day, like, they have to release it because the league makes them, but like, it truthfully does not matter all that much. Like, what matters is the depth chart on what is it, September 9th or whatever, 10th, whenever the first game is. I can't remember the date exactly, but yeah, like it's. Like, I wonder how much thought they really put into it.
Yeah, exactly. Does Pete left? He did play left guard with the Saints, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Last year he was more left tackle, and then when Trevor Penning when the Saints figured out Trevor Penning can't pass block, they put Pete in there.
He can't pass block without throwing somebody in the ground illegally.
Costing your quarterback ACL.
All right. Let's talk defense a little bit. Defense is nothing crazy that I could really see. I mean, besides Byron Young, I guess getting that nose tackle back up, right? I mean, good for him.
But what's interesting though is, and again, I don't know how we're probably putting more thought into this than whoever put this together. But like Byron Young's behind Jenkins, but Marquand McCall is behind Christian Wilkins and behind Adam Butler. So does that mean Byron Young's going to be the backup nose? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would think if that's the nose tackle spot, like Marquand McCall and Matthew Butler would be flipped. But I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into that and reading into it too much, but it is a little eye-opening to be like, okay, Byron Young is taking command of that second defensive tackle spot behind Jenkins and Wilkins, whoever he might actually back up on those early downs.
Yeah, because maybe And it's a different NFL. Maybe they're just gonna go, we don't really need a nose like that. I don't know. Maybe he's like I said, I don't know how much bigger he is at this point, you know, and I know they do the weigh-ins or whatever. Yeah, it's just it is interesting because in camp he has been like replacing John Jenkins, right? So obviously they think that he could play that, or they're just not going to go with a true nose. But I mean, what Byron Young did well was play the run in college, so maybe he's getting better. And he said he changed his diet. He said he's working with his dietitian, and you know, maybe he's eating leaner, you know, getting better there, no more soda or something like that. So he's making that happen. But yeah, so Byron Young is there, you know, and then you see like Tyree Wilson, he's behind Max Crosby, and then you know, Janarius Robinson. So it's going to be interesting to see this because it's hard to, you know, with, you know, same thing like Chris Smith, right? Chris Smith is ranked number 2, but like Trey Taylor's outplaying him in camp. So that's how you wonder like how they just put this together, you know?
Yeah, very true. But they're both listed at strong safety instead of free safety, which is interesting. But again, in Patrick Graham, your safety split both, really.
Yeah.
It's not like real strong or free safety.
Yeah, Isaiah Palomos, free safety. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any damn sense.
The 6'4" dude's the free safety.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who else is I thought it was like just saying they have this label here. They have Devonshire as a slot corner, which I think is interesting, but that's what I'm saying. Do they just list these guys? You know what I mean? Like, because that's super interesting.
Devonshire does kind of comp like similarly to Amik Robertson, who was a guy that kind of floated between both outside and inside during his time with the Raiders as that backup spot. So maybe that's kind of their vision for him. Wouldn't be surprised if he's like or they hope that he becomes like that next corner off the bench type of guy.
Yeah, and it's super interesting, you know. I mean, all the corners are like 5'10", so you know,
except
Tom Telesco. Yeah, except Richardson. Telesco loves a 5'10" corner, so I guess he could play in the slot. You know what I mean? So but he got an interception at the scrimmage, and you know, Richardson's been having some good words coming out of there. Facyon's hurt too, so we're gonna see a lot of those guys pretty soon. Yeah, but he's always hurt, right? So we're gonna see a lot of those guys in defense. But you know, defense is pretty set. I mean, you see Eichenberg is the middle linebacker. Masterson is the outside linebacker replacement, which I think if they go 3, if they do a 4-3, like if they play when they play like the Browns or something, I'm sure they're gonna do like more 3 linebackers and stuff like that. I think Masterson would be on the one playing. So yeah, that's gonna be super interesting with that. But yeah, man, that's basically most of this depth chart here. Let's see what questions are there. So they got a question for you, Matt, here. If the offense looks as bad as we heard in camp on Saturday, would you put your hand on the panic button?
I mean, do I have to press it, or am I just putting my hand on it? We got a warning sign. I mean, I think because you lose the excuse of you're playing a great defense. Now, again, it depends on who's playing for the Vikings. But the Vikings did lose quite a bit on their defensive line in the offseason. So yeah, I would start to get pretty worried if it's like, okay, now it's not this elite defense that we all know of, because again, that's the kind of the overarching excuse right now for both the quarterbacks and the offense. So if they go out and play a defense that's maybe not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the Vikings finished last year, but not exactly like top tier, and they continue to struggle. Now it's like, all right, now we got a legit problem on our hands, and I'm starting to get really worried, and definitely at least got my hand resting on the panic button. I don't know. I'm not going to push it in the first preseason game, but you get more and more concerned when it's like, all right, now this is a different unit, and they're still not where they need to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're still saying I got his face on, but you know, he might not make this team look at this point, so I don't have to mess it up too much anymore.
You got to at least make the squad for Marcus to even consider saying your name right. I see we got the pronunciation guy at the bottom, and it is Malga, so we got that squared away.
We got that right. Okay, all right, cool, man. See, we're good there. Is face on here too? I can't see. Oh yeah, it is. There it is. Face on. It's actually face on. It looks like face on. So he's even wrong. Or Faison,
Dyson.
Brendan Faison. But I don't know how much we'll be saying that any longer here. I don't know. I had a good question here. Where do you rank this defense preseason rankings? I would say top 10. I would say top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go there.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, especially if the secondary keeps playing like they've been hyped up so far or lately in camp. Like, there's gonna be a damn good unit. That's for sure. We know the D line's good. Got faith in Spillane. Eichenberg steps up, and hopefully Divine Diablo takes a giant leap in year 4. But yeah, especially if those corners are playing well and getting turnovers from Jack Jones, and Bennett keeps ascending, then I think they'll be a damn good unit. Merrick seems like Merrick's made a few plays in camp too. Excuse me, got a pick today, for sure. And that wasn't like, I feel like he's had a couple at least in camp so far. So
Merrick has some picks. I mean, I feel like the whole defense has. I think Epps has one. Jones, Devonshire.
Yeah, not great for quarterback competition.
Trey Taylor. I mean, I'm saying you can look at that 2 ways, man. It's like, that's great, but man, that's a lot of picks in camp. And to be fair, they're not in 7-on-7. And last year we had Jimmy Garoppolo throwing picks on 7-and-7, which is just awful. So we're not giving 7-on-7 picks, which I'm just trying to be positive here. I'm trying to find a positive here. Matt, there's no 7-on-7 interceptions, which I think is just out of this world, right? We did have a 2-on-2 interception today, but I feel like in the 2-on-2s, it's a little bit on the wide receiver. They got to beat the guys. It's a little bit of a wide receiver drill more than a quarterback drill. But we don't have Jimmy Garoppolo throwing 3 interceptions in 7-on-7s. So that is the positive here. These guys are throwing picks in 11-on-11s. So I don't know. I'm trying to find the positive here, Matt. Like I'm
not arguing. Yeah, sure.
I'm digging deep. I'm digging deep here, right? Yeah. So it's a little bit of an upgrade from camp last year because, I saw Deshaun Watson throw the worst pick on 7-on-7s. So I was like, you know what? We could beat the Browns. That's what I thought. I started like, you know what? We could beat that team. It was like the worst pick. Like how do you you have no rush? Go to a different read. Like, I'm sorry.
Worse than Trey Lance's.
It was bad. It was bad. It's 7-on-7. Yeah. So let's get to a couple more questions and get out of here. Let's see here. Any veteran quarterbacks on surprise cuts radar? That's a good damn question. I don't know. I guess Jimmy G. We got Jimmy G here.
Yeah, we suspended for the first 2 games. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Are there? I mean, I'm trying to think of like rookie quarterbacks that like might surprise it. It'd be Stidham, Zach Wilson.
Exactly.
If Nick ends up winning that job, maybe. Sam Darnold, if JJ McCarthy ends up winning that job, but it doesn't sound like JJ McCarthy's kind of an up and down. I don't really see that happening. Let's see. I feel like most of the rookie quarterbacks doesn't seem like. I mean, Caleb Williams, is the starter. Jaden Daniels, the starter. It sounds like I know I didn't put much weight into it, but the reports that Joe Milton was outperforming Drake May in training camp, so it doesn't sound like Brissett's going to be available.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess your only hope would be Darnold. I mean, the Falcons aren't cutting Kirk Cousins, so.
No, I mean, Flacco's on the Colts.
Yeah, he's signed with the Colts.
Yeah. I mean, you could trade for Jameis, maybe. Give a 7th for Jameis.
Jameis in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. Give a 7th for Jameis or something. I don't know. Or Dorian. They just signed
him, and you're talking about Deshaun Watson being awful.
Hey, Deshaun Watson's under contract. His contract's guaranteed, bro. They don't have a choice. They got to play that.
Right, but they might want to keep a decent backup if he's not playing well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. It would be I mean, there's Tyler Heineke, but I mean, you might as well play Gardner Minshew if you play Tyler Heineke. Let's keep it real. announced. I think they were overhyping. They were never going to decide before preseason. Yeah, they are overhyping a little bit. Somebody said Mariota.
He's in
I don't know.
Washington.
Hendon Hooker's interesting, but I don't know. I haven't seen him play. Like I don't know what his knee's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We haven't. He literally hasn't played yet. I don't like seen him play in the preseason last year. He's had that knee injury. So
yeah, whatever. Relax, Chris. Just like I'm Jim Rohn. Relax, Chris.
There you go. We just gotta get him to fight you on air. We got him get you to fight you on air so we can boost the ratings.
Relax, Chris, over here. All right. I think that's pretty much it, guys, for today. Jacoby Myers at quarterback. I mean, I don't know. He did throw some damn good balls last year.
That was a nice ball. Put Trey Tucker in the slot, in the wide receiver too. Running 12 personnel anyway. Christian Wilkerson showing out in camp. I don't know. We can see it. I think Bowers did play a little quarterback in high school, if I remember correctly. I know I got to ask. I think he was like, because I think he ran a little bit of the option or something at Napa.
Yeah, he did. He did play quarterback. All right, guys. So we're going over depth chart. Answer some of your guys' questions. I appreciate you guys joining us. We got 345 in here. So, like I said, good showing.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you guys all coming out here. And, of course, we got the game coming up. So we'll do Friday Night Live. And then, of course, we got our first instant reaction on Saturday. Yeah. That's going to be exciting. It's going to probably be like at 10 o'clock at night, I think. What time's that game?
No, it's 1 o'clock because it's in Minneapolis.
Okay, cool. We get it early.
Don't worry though. The next two are at 7 o'clock, so those will be some late nights. But at least it's Saturday.
So some late nights, man. So we're gonna have instant reaction on Saturday, and of course Friday Night Live. We get ready for the preseason game. So check that out, guys. We'll of course enjoy the channel, and of course we got a little pocket awareness be dropping too on this channel as well. My top 20 quarterbacks. I'll be doing that, and then you guys can yell at me about that, just like Chris did for some of my rankings. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.
Peace.